So good evening, everybody. This is Karen Batty. It is Thursday, December 29th. And tonight we're going to be talking about all the ways that you can take your business to a new level and make extra additional income in the new year, 2017. All right. Now, where's my little screen share here? Got some slides to make it a little bit easier to follow what I'm talking about. Okay. So when you're thinking about increasing your income for the new year, one of the ways that you can do it, let me see, there we go, that a lot of people, it goes unnoticed a lot of times. We have a sliding scale of how we get paid. And so when you sell $749, you don't make as much commission on the show as if you sold $750 in that month. So take a look and follow your sales every month. It is amazing how much money is left on the table by consultants because they don't realize that, oh my goodness, if I had sold $9 more this month, I would have made an extra 1 or 2% on my sales. So, be following that, because a lot of times people will say to me, oh gosh, I'd love to earn additional income, but I can't do any more shows that I'm already doing. Well, a lot of times we can give ourselves a very nice raise just by increasing our show average, because obviously when you have a higher show average, you make more money per show, but also because the more you sell in a month, the higher the percentage rate is. So sometimes you get to actually kind of double dip. You're earning more because you sell more in that month, and then you're earning more because it's also a higher commission rate. So be aware of these and be tracking your sales every month. Because very often just, after if you do your shows for the month and you're just a little bit away, you can post something to your customer team about the outlet or something like that to get you that one more order that you need to make additional income. All right. The next way that you can grow your business in the new year is definitely by adding people to your team. A lot of times I talk to consultants and they think that the only way that they make additional income in building a team is by becoming a director. But do you guys know that when you just add one person to your team, so that if you are active and that one person that you add to your team is active, you are then considered a senior consultant. And you make a 1% override on your personal sales plus the sales of your team. Now, your team is only you and one other person, but hey, it's still not bad. If you are selling $12.50 a month and the person that you sponsor sells $12.50 a month, that's an extra $25 in your paycheck because of the 1% override. Now, you're probably not going to retire by making a 1% override, but hey, how many of you wouldn't mind an extra 25 bucks? I know I wouldn't, it's a half a tank of gas, get your nails done, go out to eat maybe, not bad. Okay, and that's just with one team member. But then you can continue to build. When you add just one more person to your team, you are then considered a team leader. So a team leader is someone who has at least 2 active people. And as a team leader, you need to sell at least $750 in sales in a month to be paid as a team leader. If you don't sell $750, it's okay. You don't get fired or anything. You just don't get paid as a team leader that month. But if you're selling at least $750, and then you have team sales, your sales plus your 2 people's sales, all together add up to at least $2,500 or more, you are making an extra 2% on your personal sales and on the sales of your team. Okay, so let me see. I had some numbers written down. If you're still doing your $12.50 a month and you've got 3 people who are selling $12.50 a month, then your 2% override is going to be closer to $100. So it's not bad. That's pretty good, right? Extra $100 a month that you didn't have to leave your house for. Right. That's almost like doing a show, isn't it? How many of you make it, an average of $100 per party? You actually usually have to go out of your house to do it. So these are just overrides. And this is for a team leader. Now, if you're thinking, what does a team leader do? You don't have to be responsible for people's training or support or anything like that. You're just sponsoring them in the business. You're going to let them know where the trainings are. You're going to make sure your director adds them to the Facebook group so that they get introduced to everybody through the group and they know about what's coming up for all of our trainings. And you might be there to answer some basic questions for them. You might be their first person that they call since they know you well to answer a quick question about the business. But after that, their training and their support comes from the director. All right. And then it keeps going. Then, yes, you can definitely become a director. When you are a director, that means you're selling at least $750 in a month. You have team sales of $5,000. That means you plus your 5 people are selling a total of $5,000 a month, and you've got at least 5 active consultants on your team. That's what it takes to promote to director. After you're promoted, you don't even have to have the 5 active consultants. If one of your 5 people decides, I tried it out, but it's not really for me, and they decide they don't want to do it, that's okay. You'll still be paid as a director if the rest of your team, along with you, sell a total of $5,000 in sales per month. Now, what you get for that, you'll see on the left-hand side where it says rewards. I'm sorry, my husband is watching. What are you watching? What is this? He's not telling me. Batman versus Superman. So I'm sorry if it's like really loud sometimes. Okay. So when you are a director, you're going to get a 3% override on your personal sales, plus a 3% override on your team sales. And you also receive a $10 activity bonus for every active consultant, senior consultant, or team leader who's in your personal team. For most people, that's about $300 to $350 extra a month. Okay, and that's just with 5 people in your team. This isn't 15 or 20 people. This is just 5. And usually it means an extra $300 to $350 in your paycheck. But there are other things that go along with directorship. I was talking with a couple of our new directors on our team, and I asked them, what was some of their favorite things about being a director so far. They both mentioned home office leads. Because there are people who just go onto the website, they don't have a consultant yet, and they might want to place an order, or they might want to have a party, or they might want to become a Pampered Chef consultant. And if they don't already have a consultant, the home office will refer them to a director who is in their area. So based on their zip code, the Pampered Chef will send them to a website of a director in the area. So that's what we call a home office lead, and they are just like pennies from heaven. Some other director rewards are you get 30% off of any of your personal orders. You get a little birthday card when it's your birthday, plus little special gifts at conference, plus special recognition at conference. And of course, at our sales meetings, you get to wear the tiara and eat the cake and all that kind of fun stuff. And you also receive 250 PC dollars at the time of your promotion. Plus, as long as you've sold $1,250 in sales for 2 of the 3 months before you're promoted, they're going to give you the entire current product line. Plus, when the new products come out, as long as you've sold $1,250 2 of the 3 months before the products come out, you get the director benefits package, which usually is all of the new products. So it's pretty sweet. Now, there are a couple of different ways that you can build a director team. Tina here, you'll see on the top left, this is 5 of what they call direct recruits. That means Tina sponsored each one of these 5 people, Pat, Chris, Les, Jill, and Kim. But on the right-hand side, you'll see that indirect recruiting counts as well. So in this situation on the right here, Tina personally recruited Pat, Chris, Les, and Jill. But Chris, who's a consultant, went out and did a party, or maybe this is a friend of Chris's or someone who attended a party, and Kim signed up under Chris. So that's what we call an indirect recruit, but it still counts. Okay, Tina still has 5 active people on her team, and that counts for directorship. And you'll see underneath that this third way, Tina has personally sponsored just 3 people, Pat, Chris, and Les. But Pat is out there doing shows and met Sue, and Les is out there doing shows and met Kim and signed people. So this is another way that Tina or any one of us can get to directorship with both what we call direct and indirect recruiting. So it's not just who you share the business opportunity with, but who people on your team share the opportunity with. And I'm going to stop here for a minute just so I can see your guys' faces here. Hello. So any surprises so far? Anything that you're wondering about? No? Okay. There is another way that you can become a director and be paid as a director. And that is called becoming an elite seller. I'm going to do another screen share. All right. A lot of people don't know about elite seller. And what it is when you sell $75,000 in a year, so it's whatever the past rolling 12 months are, and you've sold $6,000 in the current month, then you are qualified as an elite seller. And you make an extra 2% on your sales. I was looking back on my 2016 stats. I did kind of make it a big goal of mine last year to really work on my show average. I wanted it to be around $1,000 because I thought it's a nice round number. That would be a great number to have as a show average, and I really worked toward that. And it was really amazing how much additional money I made, even though I didn't do many more shows than I had done the year before. Part of it was because I had increased my show average, but another part of it was because I was making this extra 2%. Now I'm already making the 3% overrides because I'm already a director. If you weren't a director and you became an elite seller, well, then you're making an extra 5% on your sales. The 3% as the director, and then the 2% that they give to elite sellers. So this is another way to be paid as a director and to have the title of director, because then you can also, that applies to you when it comes to your trip points. You know, if you're going after a trip, if you hold the director title, then your trip point requirements decrease. So it's just another way to give yourself a raise. Work smarter and not harder. Okay. And so like I said, you know, to be a director, you've got at least 5 active consultants on your team at the time that you promote, and 5,000 in team sales. But it doesn't stop there. You can continue to build a team. And someone on your team can say, okay, I want to become a director as well. And when that person builds a team of at least 5 people, then they become a first-generation director to you. It means they sort of branch off and they become their own director team. But you'll see on here, that team is still part of your organization. Okay, so in this case, you are Tina, and Pat is your first-generation director. And you're going to earn then a 4% override on your personal sales, plus Pat and her whole team's personal sales. So that's when you become an advanced director. And actually, for most advanced directors, your income building. As a new director, you may be making about $350 a month. But as your team is building, those overrides are going up. For most people, when they become an advanced director, it's an additional $300 to $500 a month on overrides that have already grown as your team has grown. So if you are looking to, over time, really make a full-time income from a part-time business like this, you know, making it a habit. Oops, is there some feedback there? Somebody have their microphone too loud is what my husband is suggesting to be the case. Okay, so if you want to make a full-time income from your corporate, just got a microphone on too loud. Okay, so I'm gonna. I don't know how to mute people, but I guess it's gone. Okay. All right. So if you do want to make a full-time income from your business, building a team is definitely the way to do that. Okay. Now I got to go back to my screen share. Technology stuff. All right. So going back to the screen share. All right. When you have someone on your team who becomes a director, then you receive the rewards of advanced director. And like I said, instead of a 3% override, it's a 4% override. And it goes on and on up from there. Like I said, for most advanced directors, that first month as an advanced director is an extra $300 to $500 over the overrides you've been earning as a director. And then it keeps going on. We can earn overrides up to 3 generations. So when you consider your personal team plus 3 other generations, that's a lot of people. And it means that, you know, you're out there doing parties anyway, so it's just a matter of seeing who's out there who might be interested in learning more. And of course, if in 2017 you're thinking you'd like to earn a trip, you can earn that trip in multiple ways. All right. Just very briefly, if you're doing about 6 shows a month with a $600 show average, that's $3,600 in a month. But let's say you throw in a couple catalog shows and you're selling about $4,000 a month. That's 48,000 trip points in a year. Plus, you add in 2 qualified recruits because we get 3,000 trip points for each qualified recruit. Okay, so that's 6,000 trip points. And guess what? You add those together and voila, you have earned the Amelia Island incentive trip. If you up the recruiting, you'll earn it sooner. And then maybe you don't have to do 6 parties a month. Maybe you'd rather, you know, do 4 to 5 parties a month. You can do it that way as well. You can fill it in with virtual shows. If you add that 1 show a month to that 6-show plan, you'll add 7,680 points on average if you have a $600 show average. That's how many additional points you'll add. And if you recruit 6 instead of 2, you've earned the premier trip then to Puerto Rico. So most people who earn trips, it's a combination. It's a combination of doing the parties and while you're there, just doing a Q&A round and putting it out to people just to offer to them to see if they'd like to earn more. And then if you're brand new, you don't even have to go home and answer all their questions, you know, and talk to them. You can say, hey, you know, I'm kind of new at this. I'd love to get together over a cup of coffee or have a 3-way phone call with my trainer or my director or my friend in the business who's been doing this forever. And we can then, your director team can kind of guide that conversation to see if this could be a good fit for people. Okay. So it's all about what do you want. So I encourage you guys, give it some thought. Figure out how many parties you want to do, whether they're live or virtual, how many catalog parties you'd like to do every month. Think about what kind of show average you'd like to have. $1,000 show average is not something that's too crazy to shoot for, right? Figure out what it is you want. Do you want to go for the trip? Would you like to build a team? If you want to build a team, do you want to be a senior consultant, a team leader, a director, advanced director, or above? It's entirely up to you. And I want to tell you that no goal is too big or too small to work with your director on. Sometimes I think people think, oh, my director's going to think I'm crazy if I shoot for this. Or I also hear sometimes, well, I don't really have those big goals, so I don't want to waste your time. And I just want to tell you guys, you know, as directors, we're here, we're being paid to train and support you, to help you achieve the goals that you set for your business. And no goal is too big and no goal is too small. As long as it's true to who you are, we are happy and honored to help you, you know, walk alongside you and help you get exactly what you want from the business. And I also want to let you know that we've got something coming up that starts in January. It's called 6 Weeks to Success. Okay. It's going to be a program for people who maybe directorship isn't for them right away, but they definitely want to step up their business. And it's going to be obviously a 6-week thing, thus the name. We're going to have 30-minute calls each Sunday for 6 weeks starting January 8th, and it'll go through the middle of February. Along with the 30-minute call, at the end of the 30-minute call, there will be an assignment that you can do whenever it fits your schedule through the rest of the week. And you'll also have to hold a 30-minute coaching call with your director each week. That way we take the training, which is sort of a broad scope, and then when you're talking one-on-one with your director, it's going to be really drilling down on how this applies to you in your business and your goals. And so we're going to be creating a Facebook group for the people who want to be in the 6 Week to Success series. And like I said, it's just to kind of help you get on a good roll for the new year, and align your business with the goals that you set. Okay. Wow, I was hoping this would be a 30-minute call, and it's only 8:24. I'm so excited. But if you guys want to unmute for a minute, I would love to hear, what you're thinking, questions that you might have. Colleen, looks like you've unmuted. Why don't you go first?
You caught me. I was just
Well, if you didn't have anything to say right away, you can think about it. I just figured you unmuted. You might have something you want to share. Anybody?
Hi, everyone. I'm Sherry in Wasilla, Alaska.
Oh, yeah. We're getting snowed on right now. How about you guys?
You know what? We have a winter storm advisory that they're saying 6 to 10 inches. So, and we don't have a lot of snow yet. So it would be welcome.
Yeah, we got about 5 to 6 so far. And it's just beautiful. Hi. And it looks beautiful, and I'm glad I don't have to go out and I just went and took a couple of pictures to send them to my daughter in DC where there's no snow. So.
I don't have any, huh?
Yeah.
Well, I am nearing my 90 days.
Okay.
I had kind of a slow start, but all of a sudden this month things picked up.
Good.
And, I've met some goals, and I'm getting my first tier of spring products from this month.
wow.
It's exciting. And I'm currently have 2 parties going, and we'll have at least 2 more in January.
Excellent.
So it's just exciting how things just all of a sudden start rolling.
Yes.
And if you just keep plugging away, they work out.
Okay.
And I wasn't planning to really work this as a job. I have a lot on my plate already, but it's so fun. And when things start rolling, you get caught up in it and you want more. Yes. So I'm looking forward to this.
And once the ball gets rolling, when you work very intentional about, okay, how can I get through maybe the 2 bookings from each of the shows that are currently in my calendar, it doesn't take long for it to really build and build. But,
Exactly.
But good for you that even though it didn't start off like gangbusters, you didn't just throw your hands up and say, okay, that's it. I guess that's meant to be. You stuck with it. So
yes, and I have a good support system. My husband said, "Aren't you glad you didn't give up?" And I thought, well, I never said I was going to give up. I just was getting discouraged about things. So it's all building and it's exciting.
Awesome. I'm glad to hear it. Great.
And I'm the one that called you our great grand director.
Grandmother. Look out for Chef Rose. Yes. Yes.
Yeah, thank you.
Anybody else? Anything that you want to share, or just something that you never knew before that you learned tonight on those slides? Anything jump out like, oh, you're kidding me? I had no idea.
I've heard it before, but I did forget the sliding scale commission.
Yes.
I had forgotten about that.
Yeah. And I try to look out for those things and send people messages if I notice, but there's one of me and there's a lot of people.
Yeah,
so
definitely
check on that. So you're not leaving money on the table.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Karen, it also says if you go into that and the consultant connection, the reports, it'll tell you how much more you need to sell to get to that next percentage.
Right. When you guys go onto your consultant reports, consultant connection, on what I call it your take action page, because it says take action right at the top of it. And on the right-hand side, there's a calendar. And then underneath the calendar, it tells you how close you are to the next level.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
So it'll tell you, you're only $42 away. And that's when, if you're close to the next level, I mean, what is it? If you've got a customer group going on and, you just put up a reminder about the outlet with a direct link to it, you can get an order that way. Or if you want to just run a one-day sale on brownie pans, you've probably seen people do things like that. You can pick up a few orders that way and boom, now you're making more money on all of your sales for the entire month.
Check out a wish list and maybe you can get somebody to order.
Oh, great idea. Yeah, when your hosts make up the wish list or, and they don't get everything they want right away, or if you have your customers write up wish lists, like tell me when something goes on special, you can look up the wish lists and reach out to people individually. Great idea, Melanie. Yeah.
I had 3 people ask for other people's wish lists for Christmas presents.
Ah, there you go. And you know what? In January, some people might be looking for Valentine's Day gifts in February.
Exactly.
So that's not just a great way to bump up to the next commission level, but if you're really close to, a sell-a-thon level, these are great ideas for that as well. Remember, everybody's double dipping in January, right? You guys all know you're earning commission and you're earning free spring products. And if you're in your first 90 days, you're also earning PC dollars. So yeah. And if you guys know anyone who's even slightly curious about the business, be in contact with them because they're quadruple dipping. They're earning the sign-on bonus, they're earning PC dollars, they're earning free spring products, and they're earning commission. I'm like, what's the whole thing? Oh yeah, money. Yeah. So it's sort of that perfect storm that happens usually just a couple times a year. But since we had 2 months of sell-a-thon, the perfect storm kind of thing is still happening. And this is a time of year people are anticipating those bills from Christmas coming in, and they're also looking at New Year's resolutions. It could be the perfect time that you could give them a call and say, could be the furthest thing from your mind, but what could it hurt just to learn a little bit about it, just in case it could be a good fit for you. So definitely invite them to learn more.
I have put a challenge out to my January hosts for an additional raffle for what they get in January to get me 2 parties before their bookings, before their actual
That's
party.
a great idea.
That's a good idea. So, yeah.
So I have 5 hosts right now working on 2 people.
Awesome. And imagine if they don't get 2, but they each hand you 1. That's 5 bookings.
Yeah.
That's a great idea, Elaine. Yeah. So, and they're not working to get it for you. You said, yeah, but they're working to.
Like, oh, okay. I really want that. So.
Yeah, and I'm sure you probably also let them know, hey, you're going to get a half price item from every party that's booked from yours, but also you're going to get your name in this drawing.
Yeah.
Now it's up there and in front of them. So absolutely, because yes, we can get bookings from the parties, but just like our hosts can get us a lot of outside orders, they can get us outside bookings as well. Now, new in 2016, for the first time in Pampered Chef history, 51% of orders placed on shows are placed by people who are not at the party.
Wow.
Okay, so this is new. So if over half the orders are coming from people who can't attend, shouldn't half the bookings come from them as well? I mean, yes, we're sending our hosts out there to find orders, but imagine if we were also out there finding people who want to have parties. Absolutely. If you want some wording on that, watch the second half of Business Basics that I recorded last night. No, I recorded it on Tuesday. I posted it yesterday. It should be on your direct. So Business Basics, the first half is sort of like foundational stuff. You can fast forward that till just before 8 o'clock. So just because I started at 7, it goes to 9. If you go just about to the halfway mark, you'll be at the host coaching segment. And you get lots of ideas, not just about the outside bookings like Elaine was talking about, but if you want to hear 3 or 4 things that I changed last year to get my show average up close to 1,000, then okay.
Fantastic.
All right. So show of hands, who's like, ooh, that 6 weeks to success sounds kind of cool. All right, excellent. Message your director and say, I would like to be on the 6 Week to Success series, so we can add you to the Facebook group, because that's where the link will be posted, or the dial-in number. I think we're doing it via Zoom, so the Zoom links will be posted for the 30-minute calls on Sundays, plus all the assignments, they'll be posted there as well with links, because some of the assignments are to listen to different trainings that have been done over the years at conferences and stuff. So the links and all that will be there. All right. Okay.
Can I have a kind of off-topic question, but the mystery host?
Oh,
can you explain that a little further?
okay. So I'm not sure if you're talking virtual or live, but historically,
Virtual.
okay. So historically, a mystery host party was this. We used to do them all live, because that's all we ever did. You invite everybody over and you say, guess what? This is a mystery host party. That means we don't know who the host is going to be. But I'm the consultant. I invited everybody over. And guess what? One of you lucky people is going to go home with all the host rewards. Or I usually drew 2 names and made them the host and the co-host. Okay? So we do the party. Everybody cooks. Everybody places their order. Everybody who placed an order gets their name in the drawing. I used to say, if your order is over 100, you get 2 tickets into the drawing. And then I would pull 2 names. They are the host and the co-host. And then I would keep the party open for 2 more days and hand these 2 lucky winners a couple of catalogs, because I tell them, party ain't over till I press send. So you guys can increase your host rewards by collecting outside orders. Okay. So to do that virtually, you just invite everybody and say, this is an online, or a virtual mystery host party. That means somebody here is going to go away with all the host rewards. I would probably give them, a ticket for attending or RSVPing. You can give them additional tickets when they invite their friends, and then give them a ticket when they place an order, and then you can give them extra tickets if you want to, if they schedule parties of their own. Things like that.
That's an idea.
Yeah.
I just did one as one of my launch parties, and I did really well. I did $657 in sales and 2 bookings.
And that was a virtual one, right?
That was a virtual.
Yeah. So Sherry, that was Elaine, despite the fact that it says Mary Kate under her name. So
Yeah.
Elaine Simons, if you want to message her afterwards and say, what the heck, what'd you do? Probably share some tips.
Thank you.
Okay.